Hello and welcome to another constructed video. This time, as opposed to mono red or a mid-range deck, we're going to do something a bit different. Namely, a bit slower. This is obviously an Esper control deck, going to try to make the game go a long time, drag it out, win with powerful spells. The way this is a little bit different than the control deck that other people are doing is that it's very tap out, it's sorcery speed, because it is based around Planeswalkers, and we've got a lot of them. 3 Gideon of the Trials, 2 Jace Cunning Castaway, 2 Karn Scion of Urza, 1 Liliana Death's Majesty, and 2 Teferi Hero of Dominaria. Now, these Planeswalkers do a few things. They are natural card advantage engines, which is nice for a control deck on MTG Arena, because the card advantage options on Arena are so limited. You can't play Glimmer of Genius, which is a great card draw spell. Instead, you're stuck playing Hieroglyphic Illumination, which is extremely mediocre. Just paying 4 mana to be up 1 card is really not worth it. Whereas these cards are going to be putting me up cards every single turn that I get to keep them around. The second thing that they do that is really awesome is they unlock the legendary sorceries. I was a bit down on these when they were spoiled, but quickly realized how wrong I was. Something like Urza's Ruinous Blast, this effect is crazy. It's so powerful to blow up your entire opponent's board. They might have cast out at a Planeswalker and you blow that up and get your guy back. They might have a treasure map or have flipped it and have some treasures. All that stuff goes away. Yawgmoth's Vile Offering, another one. Say you play a Planeswalker early and they kill it, and then you manage to do this again later, or you used Cast Down on one of their guys to keep the board clear, and then you get... because this one, unlike Liliana, can reanimate their creatures. So it can just keep you way ahead. Now, this deck does have problems with falling behind. Sometimes the board gets out of control, and you can't cast your Sweeper, you can't cast your sweet kill and reanimate spell, and you just have to play Planeswalkers and hope they're good enough. But that's a problem I'm willing to deal with. Costs of playing this type of strategy, and the reason why I don't think this is super busted or anything, is mainly limited to the best of one format on MTG Arena, because control decks inherently have a harder time in best of one. I've got cards like Fungal Infection in my deck, and so in a control mirror, a card like this, or Moment of Grieving, is a huge liability. Hopefully I've got enough good stuff going on to make up for that, but you do have issues with drawing the half of your deck that is not effective against what your opponent's doing. But I played a bit with this. I had some of the numbers different, but I was really enjoying myself. It's fun to have both big, awesome Planeswalkers that do powerful things, and then also big spells that do really powerful things. The only other thing that I have to say, I guess, is I'm playing 1 Demon Lord Belzenlock. I had 2 earlier. I cut down to 1 because I want my opponent's creature removal to be bad. I want to blank any removal that they have in their deck. That's one way to catch up from having bad cards in matchups myself. But sometimes you do just need another way to win the game. You just need something else that can actually kill your opponent, even if you've generated a huge advantage. And Belzenlock can certainly do that. He's also good against control decks, because even if they kill it, he enters and draws you at least 1 card. And in a deck with this many expensive things, he often draws more. And it's also nice to just have at least 1 creature, because then Liliana's Minus isn't totally blank. Reanimating this guy is pretty awesome. So without further ado, I'm gonna go hop into it. Like I said, I've played some games with this deck, not that many. It's not as thoroughly tested as some of the other things I like to play, but I was having a lot of fun, so I felt like recording. That way, even if I lose, hopefully I create some enjoyable content. This hand has a lot of removal. This is one of those hands, if my opponent's playing control, keeping this hand is game over. Like, that I've just lost the match. Straight up. If my opponent is playing an aggro deck, this hand's great. I won't die. Forest is a good start. That's what I like to see. I mean, with dinosaurs, pretty good. Depends what dinosaurs are their top end. If it is some legendary ones or Carnage Tyrant, I'm going to have a lot of problems. One thing I might have to do is figure out what the second best, like, cheap but hard removal spell is. Because Cast Down is quite good, but there are holes in it. There are a lot of legendary creatures running around. Oh, that was not a great draw. Ooh, I hope we hit our land drops. We are playing quite a few lands, so odds are good, but you never know. Okay. Just gonna snap this off, get that off the table. Oh, but it's really awkward that all the holes I have in my regular removal is also the hole in my big awesome sweeper. I don't think this deck would be playable at all without Settle the Wreckage. Having access to a sweeper without the weaknesses of Urza's Ruinous Blast is really important. Again, just going to keep the board clear. I am not going to lose this matchup from running out of removal. I'm going to lose it because I'm missing all my land drops. It's possible that I should have mulled it, but the thing about mulliganing with control decks like this, where you want a lot of lands, is it's a super awkward proposition, because okay, I had 2 lands out of 7, and I had 4 spells that I could cast. So if you're mulliganing, you're hoping for at least half of the cards you see to be lands, and that's... the odds on that really aren't great. Okay, sweet. 1 down, 2 or 3 to go. You kind of need 5 and would like 6, because there are a couple 6 drops, but... okay, want to play the Raptor. Again, just going to keep pointing my removal at things that die to it. Okay, getting there. We do need another black for Liliana. I suppose I should say, Liliana is... this is not a great Liliana deck. I don't have a ton of cards to reanimate. In fact, I have exactly 1, and it's not exactly easy to get him in my yard. Okay, we're out of cast downs. At least they were good. Hopefully opponent is running out of gas, because we're out of spot removal. We're gonna need sweepers to carry it. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and snap this off. If they have a hasty threat, I'll regret it, but... thinking, yeah, okay. Let's see. Do we have any targets for this? Just Karn tokens? So that's not good. This is basically put a counter on. We've got basically no creatures. This could tag a Planeswalker, so we're gonna take the Lightning Strike. Okay. Okay, really want a black source. Just gonna pass the turn here. Black source there would have been great. Liliana would really start taking over the game. Oh. Conveniently, that's something that dies to this. We could... oh my gosh. It's possible this deck needs like 27 or 28 lands. Just something ridiculous. Hey. Oh, yes. These are islands. Hooray! I was scared because I only saw the basic planes, but... oh, but what I was going to say about this guy, it's possible that I'm supposed to wait on the moment of Craving, because I might be able to induce a Hashep Oasis or a Seismic Stomp or something like that. Like here, my opponent is probably going to Stomp, and that's fine. Let's see. Ooh, I can get something fun back with the Offering this turn. Okay, we're getting to the part of the game I really like. They didn't Stomp. Interesting. I was even tapped out, like they weren't even playing around removal with that. Well, I am not going to complain. I'm going to get back this Ripjaw Raptor because he's sweet, and I will target their thingy. Yeah, okay. My opponent was extremely unlikely to win there, and that was... well, one, why things like my deck are good against ramp decks, because my opponent had a lot of cards that didn't actually impact killing me. They made their land drops and also cast things like Thunderherd Migration that just add more lands. They're even less important to kill me. And... ugh. I guess this is fine. We are not able to cast Jace and really far from Gideon, but... and has some good stuff going on. I think I am going to lead on a tapped Fetid Pools. Don't need to duress on turn 1. Okay, Fetid Pools. That makes this cast down a very bad draw. I am going to duress this turn in case we draw a blue source, of which we have many. I want to be able to get Jace down. Although it looks like Jace is not going to be doing so great. That is really bad for me. Oh my god. Let's see. This is fine. These counters are irritating. I think I take the Syncopate because this counter is like, this is a hard counter. It's 2-mana counter spell against me, which is rough. Gonna go ahead and run this out. They don't have negate up yet.
Power is an illusion. I can show you.
So I'm just going to uptick. They only have one other land we know of, and it enters tapped, and so they might not be able to kill this Jace before he can ultimate, and then that's going to get out of hand really quickly. That would be very nice. Oh my gosh. I'm only playing 3 of these, by the way. Oh my gosh. Okay, so opponent has to crack this, and then untap and have an untapped land to Vraska my Jace. Otherwise, we're gonna start going nuts. Okay, they are 3-color. We didn't know that for sure. Ah, come on. If we draw a white source, I guess this is okay because I'll be able to force through Gideon. Okay. Gideon is really nice because Does Gideon's loyalty matter? Probably not. I'm gonna grab the emblem. I very much doubt they're an approach of the second Sun deck, but in case they are, having that emblem is very nice. Yeah, if they play a Glyph Keeper, I can pop its spell shield with Gideon's +1 and then kill it, which is nice. Okay, this is cool. I'll be able to blow up the treasure cove before it can make treasure. I don't think there's anything in just for 2 mana in blue-black that can punish this. What I would really like to draw is either more Planeswalkers or a Search for Azcanta. Search is definitely the best card in Control Mirrors. Although I guess this isn't really a Control Mirror. My opponent has things like Ravenous Chupacabra and this Glyph Keeper. They're really more of like a mid-range deck with some controlling elements. Okay. Continuing to hit their land drops. Hopefully they just play Glyph Keeper here, because that's something I can actually deal with. Yep. Not exactly what we were looking for. Cool. Okay. We have handled the big scary for a while. Now we're in a decent spot. An advantage because my opponent's playing like these types of kind of dirtily creatures. It means that our removal isn't dead. It's not our best thing to be doing, but it's not dead, which is great. Let's see. I'm not going to do this yet because I'm not generating a large advantage with Gideon here. Like, just an extra Gideon activation is not worth it.
I've been waiting for this.
I'll just keep applying pressure with this guy. The scariest card here would be Raf Capashan. They would be able to play it, pressure Gideon, and get a counter on their treasure map. We haven't seen what the white is for in their deck yet, but if I had to guess, it is probably Raf. Yeah. Raf, Ira Dawnbringer, and the Scarab God are the biggest holes in what you can target with this. And that's one of the reasons why I was interested in something like Yawgmoth's Vile Offering. Which, speaking of, I think I'm going to be using this next turn. Because... oh wait, no, they got rid of my Jace, so I'm not going to do that. I do get to play Karn, though, so that's pretty awesome. Yep, counter the ability, that's fine. This is exactly how I hope that my control/midrange opponents will be playing. I have played a bunch of very powerful things, and my opponent has had negate in their hand since the very beginning of the game. And they've never been able to stop what I was doing. Do I play Irrigated Farmland? I kind of want to, because I've got these very mana-hungry things in my hand, and I might want to be able to play more than one spell. Now we'll see what they do. I would love for my opponent to tap out and give me a chance to Karn's Temporal Sundering. That would, with this, just generate such an enormous advantage. It would be very difficult for them to come back. Okay, this flipped. They got some treasures, which is good for them. Going to plus Karn, I would like to find either a Duress or a Doomfall. I'd like to see what's going on with my opponent's hand. Probably going to give me the Gideon. Yep. Okay, well I can find a Duress next turn, I guess. Okay, I'm going to animate Gideon. I'll attack. If they have some way to kill it, that's fine. And then the one other thing that I'm going to do before we end my turn is I'm going to get rid of the Treasure Cove. Come on. Yeah, there we go. And then get a Swamp, sure. This is nice because I'm holding up both Cast Down and Fungal Infection. So it is unlikely that any sort of creature will pressure my Planeswalkers. Opponent has a lot of cards in hand, but this one's bad, and this one isn't... it's too late. It's not interacting with what we're doing. Yeah. So what I was going to do there is I was going to -1 the Karn to get my Duress and check out my opponent's hand. If they had anything that was really relevant in the matchup, I strip that. If they don't, I just take that negate, and then I can start going crazy, like Karn's Temporal Sundering and all sorts of good stuff. That game was very likely over unless the rest of their hand was excellent, and just given the makeup of both of our decks, it was very unlikely to be. Okay, this hand's pretty good. Spot removal, Planeswalker, Sweeper. Awesome. Going to have to restart Arena after this. It is lagging a little more than I would like. Okay, sure. I don't hate that. It's especially useful if I can... the way these games will normally go is I'll be able to control a lot of the board, and then they'll have a few guys left, probably including a Hazoret. Everyone except Hazoret attacks, you settle the wreckage, and then they say, haha, I have my best creature left over, and then Doomfall acts as an edict and gets rid of the annoying god. Okay, this is not mono red, as I had expected. This card is kind of annoying. I guess it will be easy to lock down with Gideon. Okay. Could do this. I would really like to top deck another black source next turn, but I want to get Gideon going. Gideon is even good against Riddle Form, because it doesn't have to be a creature. He can target any permanent. Yeah, I'd like to draw a black source so I can Doomfall and Duress. I'd like to draw more Planeswalkers, because that's what my deck does. I'd even be fine with spot removal, just being able to kill a hasty threat or something like that would make me feel better. Let's see. If my opponent does something, my best draw is probably a black source. If they don't, my best draw is probably Karn. Ramen up runes, okay. Give the deck some reach. Card's a little gross. Okay, perfect. Let's see what opponent's got. Luckily, Shock is not in this format. Now we're in the part of the game. Okay. Lightning Strike or essentially Lightning Bolt. This is a wizard, so it can do that. So I guess I'll take Lightning Bolt. You exile a creature. So we've got the board pretty much on lock. If they want to threaten Gideon, they will need to overextend pretty hard with these Storm Tamers. That's pretty awkward that it can... that they can counter a Settle the Wreckage with by activating Storm Tamer. I still think I'm in a good spot. I would have preferred to not draw Isolated Chapel, but my top decks are so good that the average card quality in my deck with my 8 more Planeswalkers is so much higher than anything my opponents do. They've got 1 mana 1/1s in their deck.
Not if I can help it.
Also have to see if my opponent has read Siren Storm Tamer. Usually this counters things that target your own creatures. It doesn't usually counter Settle the Wreckage. Although maybe it should. When this is by far the best sweeper on Arena. Oh, that was a really good top deck. Damn.
That's new.
If they just tap this without manually tapping, they're gonna be out of blue. Yeah.
Bring it on. Next time, I'll be ready.
One, this still can't do damage, so they shouldn't have attacked with it at all. There's no upside. And two, yeah, they should have manually tapped the ruins and left the island up, because basically right now they should have a Riddle form and 1 Storm Tamer, and instead they have nothing. So now we're just in a top deck war. I am more likely to flood out than my opponent. They probably have 18 to 20 lands, something like that, whereas I have 26. But my individual cards, well, not that one, but in general, my individual cards will matter more. Okay. It's the type of card that kills me. Having cycling lands, another advantage in a long game. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a good draw. I really could use for my opponent to brick here. A powerful draw step will mean that Karn probably isn't enough to really pull me back into it. Although that said, Karn starts at 1,000,000 loyalty and just keeps going up, so unless they have something really good, it's going to be very difficult to pressure this. Yeah. Ramanat Ruin's another card that got worse with the Planeswalker redirection change. Can no longer use it to snipe Karn. Okay. Opponent did not draw a haste creature, that's fine. I don't know what they're waiting on. Did they draw probably just another, like, Wizard Bolt? They're debating if they just fire it off. Okay, I'm not going to play that yet. Play or cycle it, because I want complete information from Karn.
Determine the course of history. Good choice.
Okay, these cards are both awesome. I'm super happy with whichever one my opponent gives me. Okay. If only this entered untapped, alas. I'm going to pass. I'm still not going to cycle yet. It means I'm not hitting my land drop this turn, but Fungal Infection may come up to keep Karn at a healthy life total, and so I would prefer to do that. I especially want Karn to stay high because I am... I suppose, actually, That was a very good reason to play this that I didn't think about. Because what I'd like to do next turn is to downtick Karn, get the Vraska's Contempt, to be able to kill this and also play Gideon. Okay, he's done 4, that's fine. On their end step, I am going to cycle this. Maybe hit an untapped land? There's basically nothing they could have that'll actually kill Karn. Opponent tanking. I can't tell if they are playing slowly or if they just have some very interesting, maybe good, maybe bad card in their deck. Okay, this will be a good draw in the coming turns, although I probably don't really need that. Doing this exposes Karn to Lightning Bolt, but especially now that I have this search for Azcanta, I think that I can afford that. I think I can... Just making sure that this doesn't tap wrong. I think I can afford to lose Karn and still be in a very good spot. Gideon is... It's a really weird card, honestly, because this is probably the mopiest card in the deck as far as generating a real advantage. Even Jace Cunning Castaway can at least loot and let you see more of your deck, throw away bad cards, and try to find good ones. But at the same time, he is so important. He locks down the board, he forces your opponent to overextend into things like Urza's Ruinous Blast, and fun note, one of the most popular... Oh my. Okay, well damage can't be prevented, so I'm really glad that I have this. Oh, well, that's really annoying. Goodbye, Gideon. Oh, they had to blow up their own... They had to blow up their own card because injury has 2 targets. Oh, that's so sad for them. Do I snap this off? I think I do. I'm just gonna keep the board clear. I'll be able to find more stuff. My whole deck's removal and Planeswalkers. Okay, I have a backup Karn. That's pretty cool. Well, those are good cards. They'll probably give me the Urzas. Yep, sure. Sweet. Let's see, 10 cards, plenty. Search will flip, and then that means that, as I described before, my top decks are much better than my opponents, just naturally, based on the makeup of our decks. And now I have 2 very powerful card advantage engines going between Azcanta the Sunken Ruin and Karn. So, be very difficult to lose the game from this point. Would not blame my opponent for just conceding, but it is their right to continue playing Magic if they want to. Sure, I'll put that. That's actually a card that can end the game, albeit not very fast. Let's go ahead and tick up again. I could be just very aggressively down-ticking Karn, especially because I have a spare. Start making the artifact guys that can actually beat my opponent down and close the game, but I've got Planeswalkers who are better at that. So I would prefer to just generate a very large advantage and make sure I don't accidentally lose to something weird. I am at 20, but my Planeswalkers are vulnerable, and my opponent's deck has a lot of burn in it. Yep, they kill my Jace, that's fine.
I shouldn't have come here without support.
Oh, poor Jace. He feels let down. I didn't support him. Hey, opponent, you have nothing. Please, let's just move the turn along. These are all pretty mediocre. I guess I'll take this because it's instant speed. Okay. Now I feel pretty far ahead. I'm still not going to super spew resources. I'm not going to play another Karn this turn and downtick. Probably next turn. I'll downtick this one, play downtick. But yeah, now that I have some instant speed removal, a sweeper if things go really bad, random bit of spot removal, card advantage engines, I feel pretty good.
Evil cannot withstand a righteous army.
I really just need to close the game.
Leave this place.
Okay. Opponent had seen enough. It's funny that most of the time a 3-mana Planeswalker is going to be good. Jace Cunning Castaway is a weird exception because he's seen almost no play since his release, but I feel like there's got to be something there. If someone can find a way to protect him, he generates a decent enough advantage on his own. Especially, one reason I especially like him in Arena is because I talked so much about the wrong half problem when I've got all these fungal infections in my hand against blue-white, and being able to loot cards away when they're bad is awesome. This hand is excellent. It is good against creature decks, it's good against control decks, it has an in case of emergency, break all the glass in the entire universe button. Opponent's start is slow, which is fine by me. Means I get to develop my search for Azcanta. Most annoying card here would be History of Benalia. It's probably even worth thinking about duressing there just to make sure that doesn't happen to me. That was unexpected. Definitely binning that. Okay, now I hit my land drop. Perfect. I'm going to duress. See what's going on. This is annoying. I wish that wouldn't happen. This is probably more annoying, though. Is it? I get to blow it up with Urza's, but I also get to blow this up with Urza's. I'm going to take the Radiant Destiny. Overall, their hand is fine. They have some lords to go with their 1/1s that they made already. I do not, unless they draw very well, I think that I am likely to win this game. Part of it's going to be Graveyard. If Search can continue finding us lands, which it has so far, that's great. Probably gonna end up just 2-for-1ing myself on that Queen's Commission, just double kill spell on these guys here. We shall see. I can go ahead and take 2. I have more than enough life. Ooh, that is a nasty card. That will take a very long time to work through. This is where things are a little awkward. So I think what I am... Yeah, okay, they get all those. It's going to take a while to work through these. What I'm likely to do, I'm probably going to take this off the board and then to Fairy and plus. Assuming I can hit a land drop, but I think I can. Do I want that? I think I actually do. It's not a land, which sucks, but it does lock down the board and will greatly encourage an Ixalan's Binding, which is exactly what I want to do. Because what I really want is I want them to Ixalan's Binding Gideon, so I can Teferi and then Urza's Ruinous Blast, blow up the binding, get Gideon back, and handle all these. I hope that line all made sense. And hell, if they decide to not binding, if they just play out a bunch of these, I just am gonna Ruinous Blast anyway, and blow up the world and handle all their conquistadors, and then I don't care if they have like one left in hand for a Gideon and Teferi. Yeah, this is extremely beatable from my opponent. I do need to find an untapped land, otherwise things will start getting a little dicey. Yeah. One problem with Arena, it is... Now that's interesting. I think I do put it in the graveyard, but... Okay, perfect. What's the best way to do this? I think I'm going to Gideon. Plus here. Oh, but what I was going to say is Arena is really awkward about this. It does not make it clear. Oh, I just realized a flaw in my plan. I was going to Teferi and try to just control the board manually, but this Shafet Dunes makes that very scary. Even if I, like, kill this, just these can clear Gideon. So I'm just gonna blow up the world. Oh, but yeah. Arena does not make it clear once this ability has resolved what it targeted. Oh, that's sad. That makes this a lot worse. Probably just keep that on top. Go ahead and transform this. Oh, I can't cast this because of that one. What am I doing? Oh gosh, that was really bad. So my opponent has a Field of Ruin, so I'm really incentivized to get value out of this while I can. Cool. I played this a lot wrong. I've completely whiffed on what Ixalan's Binding did for a second. But I think that's fine. Opponent has nothing going on. I can kill this. I can probably take over the game with Teferi. I just wanted to make sure I didn't Teferi and then this dies and I just give up a card for no reason. Maybe that's bad though, because Teferi is also just going to generate cards every turn he's out, so I think my logic there might have been flawed. It's like an Azcanta activation versus an extra loyalty and an extra random card. I don't exactly know what's worth what there. Yep, figured. Hopefully I find another search for Azcanta. That would be great. Speak of the devil. Now I think I will play Teferi though.
This isn't a fight. Hurry!
I hadn't hit my land drop yet, so now I can get this search down too. Ooh, beautiful. Sure. Untap these. Okay, those are mildly annoying, but I have a Settle the Wreckage, so I don't really care. I'm actually going to keep that on top. I think one of the ways I lose is if my opponent, I don't know, sticks their own Gideon or something like that. Oh, so this is my favorite trick. I got my Yawgmoth's Vial Offering off of the Azcanta, and then Teferi can untap Azcanta. So
Let's skip to the good part.
I'll go ahead and play this out. I'm going to be drawing plenty of cards, and my deck is being very mana hungry at the moment. Yeah. So now, depending, if I want to, I can just activate Azcanta again. Awesome. I might even just let Teferi take 2 here so I can get another activation. Just draw more cards. Kind of like that. I could be attempting to ult Teferi, but I don't know if that's like my actual win condition, is to just like exile their whole board. I think I'd rather just get a good Planeswalker down and actually close the game. I love Azcanta in a deck like this, where it is equally likely to find removal and gas. I like being able to dig for threats. Let's see what's in my graveyard. Anything fun? Not really. Oh! I can Yawgmoth's Vile Offering to get back my Demon Lord Belzenlock? I forgot I binned that really early. Probably be doing that next turn. Opponent. Awesome. Already have a search. Take my Jace. Cool. Still on their end step. Yeah, and I have plenty of lands to Yawgmoths, play a Jace, and then if I hit a land drop off of Teferi, I will still be able to hold up Settle or Vraska's. I think we're in a good spot. Yeah, get back my sweet demon. Kill a random vampire. Thankfully, this card is templated such that it targets on both halves, and so they couldn't, like, kill their own card to... Okay. Exiled a bunch of lands in a row. And my hand is full. That's cool. Let's see. Guess I will use Teferi first. Inform my decision. Yep. Belzenlock sweet. He'll close the game very quickly. Drew me 2 cards. Awesome.
Keep up the pace.
Okay, sure. Land. Fungal, just to get this off the table. And I'll go ahead and get Jace down just to close the game a little faster.
Don't make me turn your mind against you.
I love the animations and the voiceovers and stuff, but one really irritating thing about playing with Planeswalkers is they kind of slow down your turn because you drop them and there's the big animation and that's cool, but then after the animation finishes, then they have a voice line and you can't use their abilities until the voice line is over. So you're just sitting there like, okay, can I just use my ability now? I played this and I knew immediately what I was going to do with it. Okay, these are annoying, but we will persevere. Shrink my Belzenlock? Oh, kill this. Okay. Sure.
You didn't think this through.
Getting in, they can trade off with my Sapperling if they want, I don't care. Yeah, that's good. They're mostly playing in top deck mode, I'm okay with getting rid of that.
We need to move quickly.
Not the best draw, but that's fine. I'm just going to Liliana and make a zombie here. Opponent is encouraged to attack with everything, because that's the only way that they are likely to get anything in past the zombie. And I have double Settle the Wreckage, so... This is probably the most over that the game has been allowed to progress to in any match so far today. Okay, they can kill my zombie. It's like, even if I didn't have a million cards in hand, what can my opponent realistically hope to accomplish here? Okay, this is a little better. 6 could clear a Planeswalker. Sure, whatever. And, like... No, it's not important. The playing around Settle becomes very awkward when you are this far behind, because... I'm actually going to... Oh my gosh. After this, I'm going to pause the recording really quickly and restart Magic Arena because this lag is terrible. But, so my opponent obviously played around Settle. They only attacked with one creature. But the usefulness of that is a little suspect because imagine if I didn't have it and they plugged one of these Planeswalkers for 2. Then where are they at? I'm still untapping with a million Planeswalkers. I don't need this. Maybe I should have discarded Duress. I think I'm just going to fire it off here. Sure, seal away. Huh. They didn't do that on my Demon Lord before? Okay. It's possible Teferi a while ago should have just...
Another minion never hurts.
It's possible Teferi should have just bounced this Ixalan's Binding so that I could have a Gideon and be beating down with that. I don't know. Got 18 cards left in library. It's not going to be that hard to close the game. Sure. Yeah, there we go.
I'm not ready for this quite yet.
Ooh, gosh.
Oh,
Yeah.
look what I
Now,
found.
opponent's main win condition is if my client completely lags out and then I misclick and lose the game. Or if I accidentally target my opponent with Karn's Temporal Sundering and they take an extra turn. That would also be disastrous for me. Okay. Kind of wanted to draw a Karn right there at the end because it would have been funny to have all 5 Planeswalkers on the board at the same time, but alas, 4 will have to do. Okay. That took a little longer than I would like to grind it out. I think I could have played differently in the pretty early turns around that Ixalan's Binding. I probably could have had a Planeswalker and caught it with the Urzas if I'd done things a little differently, but it was okay. It just took a long time to close, but we were never in danger of losing, and if your goal is to win, it doesn't matter if you win after a while or if you win in 5 minutes. This hand is good. It's slow, because these lands both enter tapped, but it's got control deck stuff and threats and removal and everything you could want in an opener. Mono red, glad I kept a hand with Fungal Infection. Okay, Gideon's a good draw. It's a little awkward. Would love to see like an untapped black source of some kind. I really want to get a Duress off early. Fungal Infection gonna be great. Kill their 2-drop. Only after it gets in damage though, which is sad. Okay. I think that was wrong. I think I should have played the Glacial Fortress, so next time I could Duress plus Search. We'll see. Yeah, I don't think that was correct. Okay. I really like Fungal Infection. I think being able to just do this is really powerful. They might burn a removal spell here because they know I'm unlikely to have many more targets for it. Nope. Okay, I'm happy to just prevent 1 damage there. Let's see. I'm going to play this tapped and Duress. I could have played this and Gideon, but their deck has a lot of haste. I think that would be a good way to lose a Gideon. Okay. They have the Ruins. Another Sun-Scorched Desert will take hit me for 1. So, unless they draw particularly well, my Planeswalkers are going to lock this game up pretty quickly. That said, at any point, a Hazoret could mess me up pretty badly. Like that. Oh my. Well, I guess I'm glad they did it now. So that Gideon can put a stop to this.
Prepare to defend yourself. Stand down.
Let's see if my opponent is thinking. So what they should do is attack me for... No, they're going to attack me for 4, okay. I needed help, didn't find any, we're dead. Yeah, that's why Mono Red's really good. We had things almost locked up, and then on the exact perfect turn to draw it, they drew a Hazoret, and we didn't draw any of our exile removal, so we died. Them's the beats. Trying to think, I could have played the Gideon instead of the Duress that one turn, but then... And the interesting thing about that, if I do it that way, is that my opponent still has that Lightning Strike in hand, and so a Hazoret on the next turn actually wouldn't have been able to attack. So, maybe things would have gone differently. Same reasons as I liked the last hand, I like this one. It still has problems, but it's even a little less awkward because we can Fetid Pools, Field of Ruin, and cast either of these. Okay. This kills a Hazoret. Less relevant against Woodland Stream, though. Oof. It's gross. Okay, that's great. It means that I can... This turn, I guess I play this. Doesn't really matter much. Do I get Search down? No, I think I'm going to leave up Cast down. I think I'm going to be able to want this hit this Mistbinder if they play it to try and hit me for 3. Yep. Save more damage this turn by killing the Silver Gill, but I think overall my life is going to be much harder if I let the Lord live, so fine taking this damage here. Okay. I think what I'm actually going to do now that I have 4 and 5 guaranteed untapped is I'm going to play this and I'm going to Doomfall their hand. Because there are certain cards they could have here. Okay. That card's very good, but not really as relevant here. This card is really problematic. This card doesn't matter, so that's cool. This card is pretty problematic. This one is probably unbeatable, and this one's going to beat the crap out of me. So I'm going to hope that I draw answers for these, and then take this Vanquisher's Banner. Land here would be really bad for me, because they can land this. Okay, that is much more beatable. Okay. Let's see. If they play a Mistbinder, this becomes 2 and 3, and then they get another counter for a total of 6, so they could clear my Karn even if I uptick. Oh, that's terrible for me. I think I just need to pass, and then I will probably Vraska's Contempt the Mistbinder. Ugh. I don't love this. What about Karn Downtick? What does that do? That puts Karn to 3, and then they could Mistbinder. Have the Deeproot put a counter on himself. So then there are 2 3-power Merfolk. And I can't even block effectively, just clears Karn. Yeah, so I definitely can't play Karn this turn. I guess the question is if I really try to develop, or if I minimize the damage I'm taking with Contempt. I think I'm going to die really fast if I let my opponent just go about their business, so I think I have to leave up Contempt. This is the type of matchup where I really am upset with the type of cards I'm playing. The fact that I don't have just a proper sweeper I'm not even playing like Golden Demise or something like that, is very bad for me. Okay, how are we gonna spread it? No, they decided to make this to a 4-3. Now let's see how they decide to play this here. Do they walk into the Settle the Wreckage that I don't have? They do. It only prevents 2 damage to hit the Lord. I think I actually am gonna hit this Silvergill this time. I don't know if this is right. Because now I take 2, and I can play this tapped, uptick Karn, and even, unless they draw specifically another Mistbinder, they can't kill Karn. Karn will still get to be generating advantage.
Do not talk to me of pigeons. I'll make use of that later.
Those were not great hits. I've certainly seen better. Okay. What I want to happen is I want to, sure, get this, whatever. I want to draw an Urza's Ruinous Blast and clear the board. Let's see if they pressure Karn here. Okay, they do. That card is really annoying. I don't like that card at all. And this type of card is why I don't like the Merfolk deck in Magic Arena, because they play a bunch of copies of Dive Down, so you can't interact with them effectively. It's very difficult to actually... Oh no! Yep, not getting the card I wanted. Unfortunate. There's nothing good to reanimate with Liliana. Yeah. So you can't interact with them effectively, and then they play a whole bunch of cards like this, so you just can't block. So basically you stand there and you attack them as quickly as you can and say, well, I sure hope this is good enough.
Good news. I've arrived.
Playing Liliana here, I could try to do more stuff like this, but I think it's important to keep a Planeswalker down, because my best hope is to find another Ruinous Blast. Yep, I knew about that. And on board, they can't clear both of these. Okay. They might just decide to attack me, draw a whole bunch of cards. They gotta clear Karn, though. Oh, wait, on board they can't. Oh, yeah, because River Sneak pumps. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is awful. I'm just super dead. Yeah, oh my gosh. Let's see, on board I'm taking 6, 7, 8, and 10, 11. I guess I'm not dead on board, but I'm basically dead. Fire this off because why not? That's 2 more damage, so I'm taking 13 just on board. There's basically no way out of this. I don't think that I have anything. Oh, now I'm actually dead. Yep. Oh, that was really frustrating. I don't like playing against that deck at all. Just, no matter what I'm playing, the matches feel kind of the same, where it's very difficult to interact with them, and I can't ever block, and so I'm basically just hoping that what I'm doing is in a vacuum more powerful than what they're doing. And that's not even that hard, because the Merfolk are all mopey and small and not very good, but it is frustrating to try. His hand is pretty good. A little awkward that I can't duress into search. Basic planes. This is tough. I don't entirely know the correct thing to do, because I really want this on turn 2, and I really want to do this before their turn 3, because I don't want to have to grind through a History of Benalia. I think I'm going to go ahead and play this tapped. Might not have time to search for Azcanta for a while, but that's fine. The front half is just the... Oh. Yeah. Wait, cancel. No, I needed to... Whew. I just almost... Okay, I'm glad I did this, but... Wow, this game is going to be extremely difficult anyway. I need to draw the other half of my deck really fast. I need lots of removal spells post-haste. I mean, that might be good eventually. I cut Doomfall. I don't know how good that is. I would like taking this, I guess. Yeah, actually, I think I do have to do that. I think I'm going to die really, really quickly if this Benalich Marshal sticks. That's a scary card. Yep. Okay. Really wish this weren't entering tapped, but it is. This was an excellent draw. I got 2 cards in my yard. Yep. Going to take 12. Oh, that's disgusting. I'm going to draw that. I want to be hitting my land drops, but this is very good if they choose to play around this. If they just attack with 1 or 2 or something like that. Okay, cycling cast out. It's fine. Man, having cast down and cast out as 2 of the best removal spells in a format is a little awkward. Okay, yep. I think I'm still going to settle here. Get my value while I can. This will be a little difficult to deal with, but that's fine. Next turn I can Karn and uptick and be looking for lands and hopefully go crazy with Karn's Temporal Sundering. Flip my Search for Azcanta, really get my board going. Definitely been that. Awkward. Good against some other stuff in their hand. Not good against Knight of Grace.
I am Karn.
Nice and straightforward quote. Okay, we'll see what they decide to give me. Yeah, okay. Opponent did not identify that I am mana screwed and desperately need to be hitting my land drops. So that's cool. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to flip this next turn, so I need to actually draw another land to Karn's Temporal Sundering. We shall see how my opponent plays this. Urza's Ruinous Blast would be another great card to draw here. Wouldn't handle a Lyra, but would handle this. That is gross, because it means if they attack me, it's a 2-turn clock. I need to put that in the graveyard, I guess. Okay, sweet. So let's plan this out. I can Karn's Temporal Sundering, bounce Knight of Grace, downtick Karn, get to Fairy. Next turn, to Fairy, draw a card, untap 2 lands, cast down the Benalich Marshal. That sounds good to me. Make sure I bounce this one. Hell, I could even uptick Karn first. Just give myself maximum number of options next turn. Cool. Yep, that's fine. Okay. Opponent has a million cards in hand, but we are going to have thorough control over the board. I think I don't need lands anymore. And then we drew one anyway. Cool. Karn. Downtick.
The time has come.
Get my Teferi. Teferi is cool because Karn draws bad cards. Just like by his nature, he ends up drawing cards that your opponent doesn't want you to have. Definitely taking the oh my gosh, they have a lot of them. Okay. Wow, several of these cards are going to be tough, but hopefully with lots of Planeswalkers we can do it. Be able to flip my search for Azcanta next turn. That'll be sweet. Unfortunately, only have one Karn's Temporal Sundering, so we're not going to get to do that again. But that was very powerful. Let's see, I'm going to... let's see, Control Z on taps. Okay. Tap for this, tap for white. That was a little awkward. I think I accidentally triggered full control, but that's fine. I can definitely beat that card. Definitely bend that. Transform. Sweet. Awesome. Great draw. I don't want to play this, but it's a little scary because I might just die.
The choices we make reveal who we are.
Okay. Yep, I figured they would give me the cast down. That is acceptable to me. Go ahead and get this out of the way.
Let's skip to the good part.
Oh, I suppose another answer for that Knight of Grace eventually is to just alt Teferi and draw cards and kill it. Go ahead and end turn. I'll be able to activate Azcanta. Okay. I felt like we were almost entirely dead this game, but we have clawed back, and now I feel very confident. Oh. Well, that was activate Scry 4, I guess. I am 1 mana short of Rask is Contempting, that's fine. Let's see what I got. Could Liliana or Settle? I think I'm just going to keep upticking. Let's find more stuff. Ooh, Yawgmoth's Vile Offering is pretty sick. I think I know what we're getting next turn. Assuming they don't give me that now. That card's awesome. Yep, I figured. I'll go ahead and play one of these. It's fine. And I probably could play the Demon Lord at this point. I was worried before because, as I said, we've got a lot of really expensive... Awesome. That card's great. End turn. We've got a lot of very expensive cards in this deck. Legendary sorceries and planeswalkers and stuff. So sometimes I might just cast this and just die. Like, I could just see 5 cards, or 4 when I was at 3 or whatever, and just game over. This is a really weird way to play that, given that they know I just put this in my hand. Yep, okay. If you don't like playing long games of Magic, this deck is not for you. Like I said, I'm going to pause the video real quick. I will restart Arena and I'll be right back. Alright, jumping back into it. Hopefully the lag is finished. So we're already 5-2. Worst case scenario. Yeah, this doesn't have a Planeswalker, which makes me a little sad, but it's got good interaction. Specifically, it's got interaction that is good against creatures or like spells in hand against like a deck that leads on basic island, or just good at what's in hand. I also just love leading on Duress because it gives you really good information. Okay, opponent's playing my deck, but with other stuff. This card is very bad. It does almost nothing. This card is really annoying. Planeswalkers are also problematic. I think I can leave them with Ixalan's Binding. I have enough different Planeswalkers that doesn't matter much. What I'm probably going to do is take Karn soon. I'm going to play this because I need the double black. Next turn, I will Doomfall and take the Teferi and just hope that my deck is much more threat dense than theirs, which it should be because no one else is crazy enough to play as many Planeswalkers as I am. Notable advantage of playing a Duress early over a Doomfall, there's a Karn in their graveyard. If I manage to resolve a Yawgmoth's Vial offering, that's going to be so sick. It will be so great. Oh my gosh. They drew the absolute best card in the matchup right on the turn that they could cast it. Oh, that's so painful. Okay, again. This Arch-Faraska might also be good later. They should probably, once they figure out what my deck's doing, consider just dropping this for no value to build up their permanence. Liliana will be nice. She'll at least get a little bit of value and get a zombie before she gets hit with the binding. I will be leading on Liliana because I'd rather she gets bound than Teferi. Her advantage is much less relevant. So good. I'm wondering if I should just start including a Forsake the Worldly in the stack. Just something to blow up enchantments, just because matches where my opponent draws the Search for Azcanta and I don't feel so unwinnable. Okay, hope neither of their two cards is a counter.
The living are just so needy.
Okay. As I mentioned, I wish this hadn't happened. This card is very good and is going to cause us a lot of problems, but now I'm in a pretty good spot. And again, searching. They still haven't flipped it yet, so this isn't actually... It's generating, like, virtual card advantage by filtering their draws, but no hard card advantage yet. Okay, I figured. I'm only running one Liliana, so that's nice. Okay. Combat. Go ahead and attack with my zombie. Pressure is mostly irrelevant here, but you never know. Maybe I stick a Karn later and make a couple quick artifacts and they finish the game or something like that.
Right on schedule.
I suppose. I should have thought this through more. It might have been better to bin... Oh, well that's a good card. I wish I could cast it this turn. It might have been better to just tuck this Ixalan's Binding, get my Liliana back, immediately make another zombie, pass to my opponent. Now that I think about it, I do kind of like that. Just hope that their search is binning all of their possible creature removal, and so they wouldn't be able to handle 2 Planeswalkers and also a few zombies. Yeah, I should have thought about that more. Now that I do, I wish I had done that. Yep. Now I just got my 1 card. Resolves. Yeah, this hard permanent based removal is cool. It's very powerful. Oh. Well, that was a very good draw. Hope that this isn't a negate. Now, if I'm lucky here, I will uptick, and my opponent will do the usual strategy, which is we'll see a land and a spell, and they'll give me the land. And then I can cast Search for Azcanta. Yeah. They'll probably give me the Dawn Catacombs over the Jace. Yes. That's what I wanted. And now I'm feeling good. I was worried, but... And it could still go wrong. My opponent could still play some big, ridiculous spell. Oh, but what I was talking about, these cards. These are really good cards. They are powerful removal. This one's instant speed and can handle almost anything. This one locks out any future copies of a card. Just great cards. But their problem is you can't run them in the same deck as Urza's Ruinous Blast. If your build around is the Blast, then you are going to blow up your own enchantments and give people their stuff back. Okay, it's an interesting choice. Wonder if they have counter magic in their deck. As is, this is like minor inconvenience because it'll tax my mana a bit as I play Karn again. Graveyard, I don't need the extra land at this point. Now I wish I had a land. Who knows, maybe Karn will find me one.
I advise that you
Doing this all pre-combat, because if Karn finds a land, I can play Jace and uptick and attack with my zombie. Ooh, please opponent, please give me that one. Please, I want it. Oh no, they didn't want to give it to me. Alas. I said all that, but I'm still probably not actually going to do that. I'm going to make the illusion, because if I uptick, they can just cast out, or seal away my zombie. And that's sad for me,
Power
because...
is an illusion. I can show you.
Because then I'm not really getting any value. I suppose there's value in plussing a bunch and hoping to threaten an ultimate, but I think I would rather just get on the board. My opponent's very far behind. And I would just like to make it as difficult as possible for them to deal with it. Because now they have to deal with my card advantage Planeswalker, my pressure / card filtering Planeswalker, and a couple bears on board. Yep. As expected, they did this anyway. It's fine. Okay, they do get to flip their Escanta, which is good. This card is very powerful, and it's going to generate cards for them. But what it also does is it taxes a lot of mana. And so their ability to deal with what I'm doing will be hindered if there's... Even if they're drawing multiple cards a turn, they're only casting one spell a turn. Okay, that was really good for them. Draw.
I've seen your stream of consciousness.
Okay, Jace.
It's shallow.
Let's see what you got. Well, that's really good. I'm gonna pitch this Moment of Craving. I can get my Planeswalkers back. I'm going to uptick Karn first. So this is... I really hope that this card is not another Approach to the Second Sun. That would be disaster, and I would basically just lose the game. I wouldn't basically, I'd just lose the game. Is there any way? No, I don't think there's a good...
hold that
I guess there are no targets for Teferi, so that's not gonna work. If I can last even one more turn, if this card and this card on the top are not Approach of the Second Sun, then I will be able to downtick Karn, get Gideon, and this is the matchup which I almost talked about earlier but didn't, where Gideon is so important, because his emblem says that opponents can't win the game. And so as long as they can't actually answer my Gideon, they just can't win. Approach of the Second Sun has no text. Okay, looks like we did dodge it, which is nice. I put a lot of cards into the bin that turn, so I'm going to get to flip my Escanta. Put that in the graveyard, I have plenty of lands. Okay, this is an awesome draw. I wanted to be able to interact with my opponent's hand so that I can make sure that my Gideon resolves and stays on the table. They might have, like, Cast Out or something like that that they're thinking about playing right now. Now that I drew Hand Disruption and I'm likely... Huh, this was wrong. I should have downticked Karn first to make sure that I got my Gideon. They bouncing my Karn? No, they're bouncing Liliana. That's... Well, that's also extra upsetting. That's unfortunate. Unfortunately, I don't have good targets, so I'm not as excited about that anymore. But, so what I think I have to do here is I have to use these two Planeswalkers to try and find a duress.
Step ahead.
So that if I have a duress, I can take that other cancel and force through Gideon. Combat. Alright, Teferi, find a duress. There's still a bunch more of them, or a couple more of them at least. Okay, and then last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try cycling this, because that'll still... Or, no, can't tap like that. Duress? No. Okay. Well, this did not work out the way we wanted it to. I am going to play Liliana. Who knows, maybe they cancel this. And I just kind of have to pray that, again, they don't draw...
Arrived.
That they don't draw approach. Like, I can't walk Gideon face first into it, that doesn't accomplish anything. Hopefully this doesn't find it. Their real one, or the first one they cast is like 6 cards down right now. Okay, that doesn't find it. It's possible what I'm supposed to do. I'm not even supposed to play Liliana. I really... Oh, never mind. I miscounted. Well, Approach of the Second Sun is such a lame win condition. Oh my gosh. And it took us way too long to find a Gideon. I think that matchup's actually not bad. I think it's relatively easy for us to get a Gideon down and then generate a lot of advantage and win the game. Maybe we need more answers for like those exile type effects. But yeah. Really rough that all our removal is completely dead.
Ever seen water burn?
Okay. These are actually pretty good pulls. Sulfur Falls will always be useful, and I think this Planeswalker isn't bad. So, yeah, 5 and 3. I wish it could have been better. Our losses were pretty frustrating, but our deck also has problems, so it's not really fair to expect to do perfect. I had fun anyway, so I'll see you all next time.